that's really cool. So I guess my last question here for you today is, what would you say is the best part of like interacting with these like Latin American communities? Like, what's the best part with like, because you talked about how like it's for the volunteers, it's a really good experience to like know these communities. So would you say that would be the best part, or would you say maybe some other part of interacting with these communities is the best for you? If that makes sense.
Well, working abroad is very different than domestically.
Right.
So I'll just speak to what I do here in Manatee County.
Right.
If that kind of answers the question.
Perfect.
Okay. In Manatee, I mean, Florida obviously is very diverse as a state, and Manatee County is becoming increasingly diverse. And the trend continues. Like I started looking at the data when I got here, probably in 2008-ish, and so as our demographics continue to kind of change, and we have more and more diversity in our population, I think it's just really important to acknowledge that and foster leadership and education among those communities, because they are really kind of the future leaders. Like one of the programs that we have at UNIS is Future Leaders Academy, and it sounds kind of cheesy, but these young people really are going to be the people in the community who are coming into local government, the school system, businesses. So that to me is really the reason that I think it's important, and I derive joy out of doing this, because where I grew up, outside of Chicago, was not diverse. We went back to the town that my mom was from, and even though my mom stayed in Chile for 10 years and fluent in Spanish, and my first language was Spanish, when we got back to that suburb, there was no diversity. And so my sisters and I spent a lot of time with my maternal grandparents, because my parents were working, and so I lost my Spanish for a long time, and I'm very grateful that I was able to get it back, even though my parents at home were constantly speaking Spanish. But as we started school or spending time with my grandparents, my sisters and I would just respond to them in English. So so all of this is just I think it's important to acknowledge and celebrate diversity, and just recognize that it brings strength to a community, and it's a positive thing to have. When you have a diversity of people, you have diversity of thought and ideas and opinions, and so the potential for creativity and addressing issues, coming up with solutions to problems, you just have a much wider range of things to work with and people to pull from.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the interview.
My pleasure, Daniel.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And my pleasure.